They thought it was a lesson in fear, something to teach the Deathworld human humility. But when the predator they brought in turned to flee from her, the entire class, and the galaxy, realized who the real apex was. The Galactic University of Xenobiology, orbiting Enothar Prime, had never hosted a Deathworlder before. Human cadet Rena Velasquez was the first of her kind to be accepted into the prestigious Interspecies Defense Academy. Most professors doubted she'd last the month. Most students bet she'd quit within a week. She didn't. 3 weeks in, she already held the top combat scores, had neutralized a simulated hostage situation in under 43 seconds, and survived a high-gravity endurance test where even the Gorak cadets collapsed. But it wasn't just her results. It was her presence. Calm, watchful, like something coiled, always ready to strike. She didn't laugh like the others. She didn't panic. Even in the mess hall, she sat with her back to the wall, eyes scanning. So when Professor Grawl decided to teach a lesson on predator psychology, he saw Rena's presence as an opportunity. He called it an adaptive demonstration. But it wasn't about learning. It was about putting the human in her place. Today, Professor Grawl announced, his mandibles twitching smugly, "We observe live behavior of the apex Strixien night beast, a predator feared across 12 systems." Gasps echoed in the auditorium as armored handlers rolled in the containment cage. Inside, a black-furred quadruped with silver spines paced with a low growl that vibrated through metal. It looked like hunger incarnate. Rena, sitting calmly in her chair, blinked once. That's it. The alien cadets turned to her in confusion. Some sneered. A few whispered bets. Professor Grawl's frills rippled with contempt. "Would you care to demonstrate your human confidence, cadet?" "Stand before it." Rena stood slowly. The room fell into tense silence. Even the beast froze, nostrils flaring as it caught her scent. She approached. The beast growled, a sound that made the Kthari twins cover their ears. The cage door opened. Gasps. A scream. Someone tried to stand. Professor Grawl held out an arm. "Let it proceed." The night beast lunged, but it didn't attack. It stopped inches from Rena, sniffed once, then backed away. No one moved. The room was a vacuum of shock. The beast whimpered, lowered its head, and sat. Rena crossed her arms. "You brought a predator to scare me? That thing's scared of me." She turned back to her seat, unfazed, as the handlers scrambled to relock the cage. Whispers turned to stunned silence. Grawl stared, speechless. After class, no one approached her. Not even the usual mockers. The Vricklaw boys wouldn't meet her gaze. Even the arrogant Cellari twins, known for dismissing all non-telepaths, looked away. Later that evening, Rena was called into the director's office. High Commander Jeshrak, a grizzled old Varnathi who rarely spoke to students, reviewed the incident footage silently. "Do you know why it backed down?" he asked, his voice deep and slow. Rena shrugged. "Animals recognize threat posture. It smelled the blood on my gear, maybe. Or maybe it just understood." Jeshrak narrowed his eyes. "Understood what?" She looked up. "That I'm worse." A pause. Then Jeshrak leaned back, a strange expression crossing his face. "We brought you here to learn, cadet. But I think some of us will end up learning more." Dismissed. She left without another word. The footage spread through the inner channels of the academy and then beyond. A week later, it reached the desks of admirals, council members, and warlords. One Tlax general remarked, "What the hell did Earth breed in their jungles?" Back on campus, things had shifted. Rena was no longer treated like a curiosity. She was avoided in sparring. Trainers revised their simulations. One day, her schedule was updated, no more group classes. Private instruction only. On a stormy evening, she entered the campus library and found Professor Grawl waiting. "Cadet Velasquez," he began, his tone formal. "About the demonstration, it was not intended as humiliation." "Sure it was," she replied casually, pulling a book from the shelf. "But you underestimated the species. It happens." He studied her, antennae twitching. "Why did it fear you?" She smiled faintly. "Because everything bleeds, and humans never stop." 2 months later, a joint species training mission took the cadets to Velkaran Prime, a jungle world used for live field survival exercises. Mixed squads were formed. Rena was assigned with a group of 3 alien cadets, including a noble-born Zalari female named Jotha. They didn't trust her at first, but on day 2, When their camp was attacked by a pack of feral shard lions, it was Rena who held the perimeter. Blade in one hand, broken bone in the other, she slaughtered 2 before backup arrived. Jotha's account of the incident made it into an official Academy journal. She didn't flinch. Not once. Blood everywhere, her uniform in tatters. But her eyes, they were calm. She told me to stay down and covered me with her body. The shard lions were apex predators, but she hunted them like prey. By the time the semester ended, Rena Velasquez had a new nickname whispered across dozens of planets, the Quiet Apex. The Galactic Council would later draft new policies for interspecies military training. Rule 7.3 was clear. Under no circumstances shall a Deathworld human cadet be used as an example in predator response demonstrations. It was signed by the same Professor Grawl who once tried to humiliate her. And deep within the security archives of the Academy, a single clip remains classified to this day. A predator, the Strixien night beast, backing away from a girl with a calm gaze, as if seeing something far more dangerous than itself. Rena never bragged, never explained. She didn't have to, because the whole galaxy saw the truth. Humans don't need to roar. They only need to stand still, and the wild flees first.